Welcome back. It's 8:44. With Supreme Court Justice Scalia's passing, changes are in store for our nation's Supreme Court. But what laws and dynamics will dictate what happens next? And why does it matter to you? Well, here with what you need to know is Shari O. And Shari, good to see you again.
Thanks, John.
Let's talk about some of these laws. Exactly what laws apply here? What happens?
So it's really the United States Constitution. Article 3 actually established the Supreme Court and also outlined the cases that they would hear, but it was remarkably scant in terms of the details, leaving most of that to Congress. Congress has done that over the years with various formal judicial acts, but also with less formal tradition and sort of operating procedures.
All right, so what does the Constitution say about how our next justice will be appointed or should be appointed?
Sure. Well, that's Article 2, where the procedure's laid out, and the President nominates the candidates, and then the Senate will confirm them, which is where the procedure has really changed over the years, with the creation of the Senate Judiciary Committee to actually vet candidates and make a recommendation to the larger Senate, but then also the addition of these long Senate hearings, including the media, sometimes lasting up to 30 hours, and more of a focus on the candidates' sort of political views on different issues than their actual qualifications, which is what the procedure is supposed to really be doing.
Well, as if we needed another divide between the Democrats and the GOP, it seems to be happening with this. The president wants to nominate his guy. He still has 11 months in office. The Republicans say no, wait until the next president. So we've been doing this for centuries. What is it that's making this process so contentious, and how does that impact us?
Yeah, it's been contentious for a while. I mean, a great example is Roosevelt back in the 30s, who tried to stack the court with 15 justices actually to support his own views. Oftentimes, we see filibusters delaying it. The difference with McConnell is he's not talking about delaying the process. He's talking about not even letting it start. From our standpoint, there are three major issues that are concerning. One is, again, the process is supposed to vet qualified candidates. It's evolving into a process that actually vets their political views on things, which goes to the second issue, which is the independence. The Supreme Court really needs to be independent from politics and Congress, and this is really blurring those lines. And then the third thing, John, is the biggest issue we have with Congress is that they're not getting their job done. There's all these bottlenecks in Washington. By doing this, they're essentially extending that bottleneck to the Supreme Court, because there are some really important cases that need to get heard, including next month on abortion, on voting rights, on union rights, on affirmative action, on immigration, major stuff that matters to us. If those cases are heard without this ninth justice on the court, there's a high likelihood that the court will be split, and those will be sort of hang votes, and they'll go back to the appeals court, or they may be extended for rehearing. Either way, Congress is basically creating a bottleneck for the Supreme Court, preventing them from doing their job.
Right, which bogs down the process even more if it ends in a tie.
Correct.
Goes
Correct.
back. Oh. All right, Shari, thank you again for being here today and explaining that complicated process.
Sure.
All right, let's go back over to Rocks and Holiday.